The warm, stale air that hung above the crowded platform dripped with fear and panic. The lights shone with a blinding white light that made my head spin and stomach churn. The noise of the platform rang like gunfire in my ears, men shouting words of haste and sobbing goodbyes, women yelling at crying children and hugging their husbands. The storm raged above, its thunderous clamor shaking the earth beneath it. Dust and webs fell, and small rocks came loose of the ceiling. The screech of cars grinding against tarmac reverberated above, though what would have been a deafening noise up there was no more than a distant whisper, resurrected only in the brief moments of panicked silence down here in the bowels of the earth. The platform was a sea of people, its surging tides flooding every inch of the station as their human tides clashed and pushed against each other and the cramped walls of our confinement. People sat atop the rippling ocean, children clinging to fathers' shoulders as they waded through the crowd. I could hear the rumble of the storm approaching, the ceiling shuddering with its every roar. I felt my breath catch in my throat. My blood ran cold in my veins, still as the beating of my heart. Then I dived headfirst into the rushing current, pushing and shoving my way to the fore. My heart jumped back to life, hammering like a machine gun against my ribs. Pale beads of sweat glistened silver as they fell like raindrops across every inch of my skin. Their cool trails provided meager relief against my charring skin. I was boiling in the cold station, my rapid breaths raising into the lurking darkness that snarled above our heads. My head spun as if the brain within it was attempting to burst from my skull. I staggered forwards through the mob, my eyes forward, seeing without seeing. I was on autopilot, mindlessly pushing forwards towards the tracks. My ears rang, but the world was silent to me, only whispers penetrating my mind's shield. Blind and deaf as I was, I could almost see the train line. It came like a blazing knife, cutting through the cold darkness. Carriage after carriage slunk into the station, their shaking momentum halting suddenly. Women and children piled on, waving and sobbing farewells to loved ones who would have to weather the storm. Some men tried their luck, sprinting forward towards salvation, only to be pulled back or shoved off. I stumbled, or perhaps was pushed. Either way I slumped onto freezing concrete with a soft thud and lay there, my body refusing to move. Someone stood over me, their face distant and veiled by the pulsing of my forehead. They hauled me to my feet and shoved me forward against the train. It was mostly cargo with few seats. People hung from the roof and sides. The train jolted forward, salvation rushing towards us, for a second at least. Then the platform and train disappeared in dust and fire. The storm's chilling wind soaking up the death and carnage.